Hi, I'm Sally Brownbill from the Brownbill Effect. I'm going to start talking a little bit about myself and where I've come from and what I do today. I started out as a commercial photographer a long time ago. Following photography, I then became an assistant where I learned a little bit more about photography and a lot about life. And I've sort of taken that through the journey that I have with my business now throughout my whole career. Is photography so much more than just taking pictures. After assisting, I went overseas and travelled for a while, and I ended up working in film and television, which was a huge eye-opener. I really understand the power of networking. I started off working down in Bristol for a TV network and ended up in London working for another TV network, which led me into working with West End Theatre, and on it went. And all the time I was working in a nightclub as a door bitch, I hope I can say that. But what was really good about that was it was around the corner from the London Art Directors Club. So I was meeting all these really cool creative people and filmmakers and art directors and musicians and just building this monstrous network. So when I came back to Australia 6 years later, I was a bit lost. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I went back to RMIT and had a chat to them. And they asked me to start teaching. I started to team teach in a subject called professional projects, where my role was to go out into the industry and bring back live briefs that the creative industry was working on to feed to the advertising students and then to the photography students. So I was building my network all the while, and I did that 2 days a week, and on the other 3 days I became an agent for commercial photographers. And that sort of happened because photographers I knew came to me and said, hey, we'll pay you to take our folio out. And I thought, how hard can that be? But it was great because I already had this network out there. And so I started getting photographers' jobs. And then as the years went on, I started to work with another company who was doing the same thing, but also for graphic designers and art directors and copywriters and all other forms of creative plus photography. So I was then able to see what they wanted in photography, not just what we thought we needed in photography. So it was a really interesting time, and one thing led to another, and I then started to understand that photographers really needed help with their career. They really needed help with how to pull portfolios together, how to get jobs, how to network properly, and look at a career trajectory and what might that look like. Because it wasn't just emerging photographers, it was people that had been in the industry for a long time, and still today I'm working with them, that might have just got on a road of paying bills but not feeding their mouths but not feeding their souls. So what is it, and how can you get both out of your photography? So today I run a business which I started in 2012 called the Brownbill Effect, and it has a lot of different facets to it. One part is I still work with photographers and all other creatives at all stages of their career to build portfolios, to help them understand the power of networking, to help them also understand that it's never ever just about photography. It is very much about understanding the business of being a creative, which is a very different thing. I help them pull CVs together, LinkedIn profiles, design portfolios, design websites, whatever it is that they're needing. I also run individual consults that go for 2 hours, which is really just about talking about careers and what opportunities are out there and how they can balance their work and their life and their art and their commercial practice, if that's what they choose to do. I also have a creative directory where people who have their own businesses pay a yearly subscription to be listed, and then I help network them through social media, through newsletters, and they can start social networking with themselves. I have an assistant register, which is photographers predominantly that have recently graduated or are current students, and I help them get assisting work. And then I also do full-time and part-time recruitment. And that's right across advertising, design, marketing, and also photography. So I have a big network where I help people find full-time jobs and freelance jobs. And because I'm not busy enough, I've also decided to write a book, and you can purchase that on my website, and it's about, how to develop your career as a photographer. It's not about how to take pictures, but it's all those things that I talked about. It's about inspiration and motivation. It's about why is a network important? Why is understanding business important? I sort of go into quite clearly about if you're wanting to start your own business, you really need to work for somebody else first to understand how they're running their business, and you learn the goods and the bads. It was important for me in that period of time when I went into another company to see what I would do if I had my own business, but certainly what I wouldn't do. And that book is available in hardcover and also a shameless plug, and also an online PDF version. And I also do a lot of work within universities, and I'm an industry fellow at Swinburne within their Honours Design department, so I get to work with a lot of design students and advertising students at different unis, and Collarts right across fashion and marketing and photography. So what's really exciting from where I sit is I get the point of view of not just photographers, but people that use photographers, which is what I've learned. One of the many things that I've learned is that you can never second guess what somebody wants to see. You have to own what you do. And that's something we can talk about a bit later on.